And this is a trailer. So this is 2.5 minutes from a game that has 6 hours of gameplay. Okay? So we're only showing you the highlights. This is as if you went to the movies and you saw a trailer of a coming special. It's even a smaller piece because those trailers are 2.5 minutes as well. But here's Diane.
This is the town of Dodge.
So how many of those vending machine towers are there?
A lot.
Every few blocks?
Yeah.
You can eat all the junk food you want.
King Edie's wants to make sure no one is ever very far from food.
In Diab, you never have to exercise.
I've seen some decent food like fruits and vegetables. Why don't people eat that?
The food in the vending towers is free.
Ah.
Sound like a dream? It's not. It's a nightmare. Join DJ, Elinda, Dagan, Bearspaw, and Miza. It's up to you to help our heroes defeat the tyrannical King Eaties and escape from Dodge.
Good, thank you, Dr. Hopefully you agree that the production value on that's pretty good, and this is probably the kind of thing that kids are going to enjoy playing. The storyline for Diab is that King Eaties is oppressing the population of Diab by not allowing them to eat fruits and vegetables or be physically active because it makes them more indolent, that he can manipulate them better if they're out of shape and fat. DJ is a boy from our world, falls through a time warp, and once he falls into Diab, he's captured by King Eaties' guards. They take him off to jail. There's a renegade troop, so this is targeted at 10 and 12-year-olds, so just under middle school. Right. A renegade troop of 12-year-olds who you saw in the story. Release DJ from jail, take him to their hideout. He takes them under his wing and he trains them or he teaches them how to be physically active and to eat healthier so that they can escape from Diab. If the kids win the game, so if they there's goal setting that occurs in the game, if they achieve all their goals or most of their goals, they see the positive ending. King Eaties falls into a vast crevasse, and they can leave if they want, but they decide to go back and help their people and resurrect Diab. If you don't achieve your goals, you get the negative outcome where the kids get dragged back to Diab, DJ escapes, but everybody else gets dragged back. And then we show them what the positive outcome would have been if they had achieved their goals, hopefully giving them some motivation to achieve their goals. Hopefully it's fun. So let's talk a little bit about the design of behavior change interventions. I think the mediating moderating variable is a terrific model for thinking about this stuff. Any intervention, but in this case it's the video game play. The video game play, if you play our video games, you change some mediating variables. It's change in mediating variables that change behavior. It's changes in behavior that change health outcomes, so the adiposity would be here. Mediating variables come from behavioral theories that have the variables that are predictive of behavior. So we designed a video game to change mediating variables. It's changes in mediating variables that change behavior. It's changes in behavior that change health outcomes. Moderating variables are third variables that account for differences in outcomes. So there's a number of studies that have shown that interventions work with girls and not boys, or vice versa. In that case, gender would be a moderating variable. So the assumptions are that the behavior, so change in behavior is related to adiposity. An assumption is that the behaviors that you've targeted are strongly and causally related to adiposity. This is an aside, but we've done a literature review on sugar-sweetened beverages, and when we did that literature, we found hundreds of studies that have looked at it. We thought it was going to be a no-brainer, but what we found was that there were as many studies showing that sweetened beverage consumption isn't related to adiposity as there are showing that it is related to adiposity. There's no difference. It's not that the better studies show the relationship. It's not that the longitudinal studies show the relationship. So, although there's been a lot of interest in sweetened beverage consumption, if sweetened beverage consumption is not related to obesity, there's a lot of us have wasted a lot of time. Another thing, that every obesity prevention trial in the last 15 years with children has emphasized fruit and vegetable intake. If we can get kids to eat more fruits and vegetables, the thought is that that we'll get less heavy children. So we did a literature review there. We restricted ourselves to just the intervention trials and the longitudinal studies, which are considered to be stronger research designs and should provide a better answer for the question of whether fruit and vegetable consumption is related to obesity. There's no evidence that fruit and vegetable consumption is related to obesity in children. Part of the problem is, I'm not saying that it's not related. I'm saying that there's no evidence that it's related. The intervention trials didn't change enough fruit and vegetable intake to have an impact on adiposity. So if you don't get enough change in it, in fruit and vegetable consumption, you can't expect a change in adiposity. The longitudinal studies are not showing a relationship. We did the same analysis in adult studies. There is a relationship in adult studies. It's very, very weak, and it takes 10 to 15 years longitudinally for the relationship to manifest itself. So it's not a strong relationship, and that would suggest that changing a lot of fruit and vegetables may not have the effect on obesity that we would like it to have. Be that as it may, we're stuck with the limited things that we can go after. The assumption is that behaviors are strongly related and causally related to obesity. If they're not, that's going to be a limit. That's going to put a severe limit on how effective our interventions can be. The same kinds of things are going on with mediating variables. So we should be changing mediating variables to change behavior. We're assuming that the mediating variables that we're trying to change are strongly and causally related to the behavior. I don't know how many of you guys do behavioral science within public health, but a variable that everybody loves to talk about is something called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the confidence that you have that you can do a particular behavior. Well, the only longitudinal study that I'm aware of that's looked at that in regard to physical activity showed that physical activity at time 1 predicts self-efficacy at time 2, but self-efficacy at time 1 doesn't predict physical activity at time 2, suggesting that it may not be causally related.